Hi guys, hello and welcome to another video. Happy Pride Month, yay! So happy. Yesterday was the Pride in my town and it was so much fun. I had like my flag on my cheeks and I had also like a big flag, I don't know where it went, and it was so much fun. We had a little rain, but it was just such a happy moment. So I wanted to do like a queer book tag. So I will put like the questions below if you want to answer. So yeah, the questions, well, the tag is in my phone, but I'm filming it with it. So I have the pile of book and I need to remember what those are. So I'm gonna try, but be indulgent. Okay, so the first is the first queer book you have read. I was thinking of this one, which is Sweep. The French name is Wicca by Kate Chernin. Um, it's not the main character. The main character is not queer at all, but there are some characters that are queer inside of this book. I think in volume one, it's not a lot, but then in the second book, new characters are introduced and there is a sapphic couple, and also in all of the story, her aunt is a lesbian and she's married to another woman. So there are characters, like side characters, that are queer. But I would say the first book that I've read with like a main character that is queer is Will and Will by John Green and David Leviathan. Um, I think that was like really the first book where it was a romance between two characters, and it was like mainly so we follow two people that are both called Will Grayson, and one of them is gay. So yeah, that was, I think, the first book that I read where the main character was queer. The last book that I read that has queer representation is this one, She Gets the Girl, by Rachel Lippincott and Alison Derrick. So this book was written by two women that are married and they have a child together, I believe, and it's like a very cute romance. I will do a vlog of this book, but this was the last one I read and it was really cute. Then we have a book that has my sexuality in it, and it's Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli. So this is not the main character, this is the side character. I think her name is Lily, and she says, and like there's this all other part of it where I'm pretty sure I'm pan-romantic, asexual actually, or demisexual. I don't even know, and I haven't dated anyone. So yeah, this was the first time there was really representation for my sexuality, and I really loved it because the character is also questioning, so it was really fun. The first time I've read Solitaire, which is my favorite book, Michael Holden for me was queer. Same for Tori, but in the book it's not really canon. It was like outside or in the comics. They are starting to get like in the comics. But Michael Holden was said by Alice Oseman to be pansexual, and Tori Spring is asexual. So it was like this book I really related to, even though it wasn't like canon. So yeah, but this is like the first book where I read a character, I'd be like, oh, this is who I am, and I thought, oh, that's me. Okay, favorite sapphic relationship. So a woman with a woman, and I would say One Last Stop. I think that is the book where I thought love is real. I think it was so cute. So this is a romance between August and Jane. There's like a little bit of a fantasy, magical realism aspect, but I really loved the romance. I thought they were really meant to be together. I really enjoyed it. Um. Oh, then we have my favorite male relationship. So like gay um relationship, and I would say Ronan and Adam from the Raven Cycle. I only own the third book for like whatever reason, but there is also a not prequel, sequel trilogy that is called Call Down the Oak. Like it's the Dreamer trilogy. And we focus on Ronan, and we have a little bit of Adam Ronan relationship, but I really loved it. I like everyone knew that they were gonna get together, but for me it was like so not obvious. I didn't realize Ronan and Adam were like having feelings about each other. So if you read it, it's happening very late in the series. Like you have this tension and you do see that they care about each other, but like the romantic part is like very late. This has 4 books, but yeah, I think I still think about them a lot. And I think I really, really love their relationship. I think it's healthy, and we got to really see it in the Dreamer trilogy, and it was really fun. Then we have a relationship with a non binary character, and I chose I Wish You All the Best by Mason Diva. So the main character is, I think Nathan is the boy. Ben is the non-binary character, and their boyfriend is Nathan. And I really thought this was a cute book. Unfortunately, I don't think that I've read a lot of books with non-binary as like main characters, which I think is such a shame. I need to check more of that. But this was like one of the first book where I read a book about a non-binary character. It was really hard to talk about it in French because in French we had to create an entire new language. Well, language no, but like a lot of words to talk about non-binary people, because the French language is really centered about around gender, and you cannot use adjectives without like having to say if the person is a girl or a boy. So there was a lot of changes. So talking about this book in French was really hard, but it really allowed me to actually research non-binary people and language, because in French we don't have they. So yeah, that sucks. But this book was really cute. Check maybe trigger warnings because it is kind of hard at moments. Ben's parents are um, queer phobic, I would say, and they hurt their child uh, often. But this was really cute. I think they are making a movie. It has been in like for years, but I don't know what happened. So yeah. Then we have a book where everyone is queer, and I would say Undercover Princess by Connie Glynn. So I think for this book, so there's 5 in the series, and I would say everyone is queer. Like for me, top of my head, I wouldn't be able to say someone is not queer. I was thinking one of the boy I think is Raphael, but I think he's also queer. So like for me, everyone in this is queer. There's no straight people. You know, they doesn't exist. But yeah, this was really cute. I think it's the first book where I actually wanted the main boy and the main girl to get together, one of the main girl. And like when the romance was just friendship, I was like, oh damn. Because I don't know, the banter between them was so cute. But yeah, everyone is queer. And it's such like it doesn't have to do anything with the story. Like this story is not about being queer, and it's just so good to go into a story where everyone is queer and it's not a problem. And a lot of people will tell you, yeah, but what about straight people? Like I've read so many books where there is no queer character and I didn't die. So yeah, there's no straight character in this, or at least I'm not aware of them. But yeah, and it's really such a cute story, and Connie Glynn has came out with a new book that I've pre-ordered. It's in England at my friend's Vic's house, and I need to go get it. But yeah, I'm excited to see her new story. Okay, best TV adaptation in TV shows. Of course, I'm gonna say Heartstopper. This wouldn't be a queer video without Alice Osman. But let's be real. I was thinking of like adaptation, and I could not think of like a queer um adaptation that I had read. Like honestly, could not think of it. I did not read the First Kill by V. Schwab. They made a TV show from like a short story that she had written. So I did watch that and I really loved that. But I think for like this sake, I would choose something that I have read and I love a Heartstopper. Oh, I love Heartstopper and I love the TV show. I was a bit disappointed by season 3. Is it season 3? It's season 2. And they just announced a movie. I'm so excited. But yeah, I think this is such a cute adaptation. I think it's really meaningful and I hope it's going to help so many people. I have the version with the cover version with Joe Locke and Kit Connor. And yeah, I think I really love the actors. They're really good. And yeah, best adaptation, I would say. Then best movie adaptation. Again, I was trying to think of like queer movies that came out, and most people would say like Call Me by Your Name, and other things. But for me, it's gonna stay. So the movie is called Love, Simon. The book is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I try not to put the same author on and on, but I think yeah, Becky had to come again. I absolutely loved Love, Simon. I know a lot of people hated hated the movie and called it like a straight people movie, queer movie. But for me, it was like so good. I cried like a baby at some of the scene. It really resonated with me, and I think it really helped other queer people with that. And it's also good for like showing straight people about queer struggles. The book, I read it after watching the movie because I never heard of like Becky Albertalli before, and I was kind of disappointed. I think I prefer the movie to the book, which is kind of weird because normally it would be the other way around. But yeah, the main couple, is really cute. And then they made Love Victor that I really loved as well. But yeah, I think for me, Love Simon is like one of my favorite movies. I have the DVD around here. I still cry to like that one scene, like you get to exhale, Simon, like that. Yeah, I went to see it in England, I think, when it came out, cried like a baby. And then when I went back to France, they were showing it in a cinema. So I went with my mom. It was in English, and I cried so hard. And I grabbed her hand, and it was like so cute. So yeah, for me, it's always going to be like this. And please don't say that a movie is like for straight people, even though it's queer, or like saying that queer author are writing stories for specific like straight people. Don't. Okay, then we have like the most excited release of the year in queer books, and it's this one. And they were Roommate by Paige Powers. I talk about Borrow Your Boyfriend Club. Borrow a Boyfriend Club. I really love this book, and I was so excited for this one. And it just came out. It arrived at my house like on Friday, so I was thinking of reading it today. I have not started, but yes, I'm so excited. This is about a trans character that transition and goes to an all boys school, and he gets a room where his roommate is like this guy that he had a crush on when he was younger, but that guy does not recognize him from before he transitioned. So yeah, and I love the banter. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. I have other books that I'm really excited that are queer. So we had the new Connie Glynn, we had the new V. Schwab, we have the new Sophie Gonzalez, the new Becky Albertalli. Like all of those I have pre-ordered, but they are in England. This is the only one I couldn't get in Waterstone at the time, so I had to order it from Blackwell's, and it was sent to my house. But yeah, the most of the books that I pre-ordered are sent from Waterstone, so I don't pay taxes. I send them to my friend Vic in London, and they also have like amazing editions, like really pretty editions that can only get on Waterstone. So that's why. Then we have like different genres queer book. So I think for this one, for the tag, just choose like, I don't know, how many do I have? Five like different genre and choose a queer book. For science fiction, I chose This Is How You Lose the Time War. It's by two author, Amal El Mutar and Max Gladstone. This book is amazing. I think, oh, in the previous video with Lindsay, when we read like reviews, this was like trash dolls. But honestly, it is really worth giving it a try. It's very short, but the way it's written is very, very different. So be careful, but I think it's such a great story. I really thought about putting this in the Sapphic, like favorite Sapphic ship. But the thing is, I don't think I think about the characters still to that day, but I do think about the story. Then in fantasy, I decided to take this one, which is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Young. There's three books. I only own two and I've only read one. This one is actually signed. A friend of mine was friend with the author and she got it signed. And honestly, this you need really need to check trigger warnings because this story is really heavy, but I think it is an amazingly written story, and every year I think about reading the next part, but I think I should probably read this one again to go back into the story. Then I chose manga and I decided to put Given. I would say like the three first mangas, because after that there are like weird problem with consent, which I think is like a real problem with queer ships, with like consent, and especially with men. So yeah, I would say like the main couple, which are those two, really are amazing, very healthy relationship, really loved it. But then you get to like other couples that, yeah, the consent, the story, I'm not sure. But I was thinking of like mangas where there are queer characters, and I think I've watched some anime with queer representation, but it's never really good, let's be honest. And I really love the anime of this, apart from the movies where, again, consent. Then I thought horror and thriller. So this one is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. And I was very surprised with this book. I bought it and I'm not really a thriller horror kind of girl, but this was interesting. The ending was particular. But it's like these girls are stranded in an island and they're not allowed to leave. It's like a school, because in the island they got sick and like their body were changing, and it's like really horrific. And some girls are starting to die. And it's like, what should we do? And also I think like rations, because the government are sending them food and everything, I think has stopped, so everything is going to shit. There's only like one moment in the book that I really was weird, and I think that wasn't how it should have been written, honestly. But again, yeah, check trigger warnings for this one. And then I thought young adult or like romance, coming of age, and I thought of Felix Ever After by Kaysen Calendar. So this is really cute, but again, for people who are queer, be careful, because some of the books that I mentioned are heavy around homophobia, transphobia. So this one is about this Felix, who is a trans character, and someone at his school got a old photo of him and like his dead name and has put it inside of the school, and it's like really Felix is really struggling with transphobia in this book. And the romance, I was really surprised about it as well, because you think it's going to be one thing and then blah blah blah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I read it like years ago, but it was, I think, really good. Really loved it. We are coming nearly at the end. Okay. Then I picked up a book that made you laugh. And I talk about this book so much. I think those are like one of my favorite books. So they are inspired by these comics. And so the comics are about fencing. And then an author was allowed to make two books about the stories. And again, everyone is queer in that. I don't believe there's anything other than queer people in that story. But oh my god, I could not stop laughing in those books. It's just so funny. Everything is so funny. So like those two characters are like rivals in some way, but the dad of I think it's Seiji. Yeah, his dad like sometimes calls him and he believes that they are in relationship. Like it's so funny. Like I could not stop laughing, and honestly I care so much about those characters. And when this came out, I was so excited, and then this was announced and I was hoping so much for like the rest. And it's really hard to get the comic here in France, so I don't know where the story is, because those two books are like intricate into the story of the comics. So yeah, I just hope they're gonna be more, because oh my god, it's so good. Then a book that made me cry. Okay, so this is the French version. This the deepest breath by Meg Grehan. In French, it's En apnée, and it is written in like poetry. And I think I vlogged it for like another video, but oh my god, I was crying like a baby at the airport. Like honestly, we were in China for the layover on our way back to France, and I read that and I was just crying, because this is such a hopeful queer story about discovery, about love, and about acceptance, and trying to figure it out, and the support of like your parents, and feeling like you are underwater, which is like exactly how I think I felt about a lot of things, like being underwater. And this was just amazing. Like oh my god, I was crying so much. Then oh my god, what was the oh yeah, a book that has a sequel that you're waiting for, and I'm gonna say Cemetery Boys. So when I bought this book, it was supposed to be a standalone, but now there's gonna be a second book in that story that is coming out this year in 2025. And funny story, there was a year when I was really trying to find new books. So what I did was look through like free goodies when you buy a book. There's a term, a specific term, but I forgot it. And so for this, we had like cards, character cards, and it was like a signed book plate. And honestly, I'm so happy that I have found this book. I wish I would read more of Aidan Thomas' book. I forget about buying them all the time. They are in like books that I want to read. But yeah, I'm so excited for the next part. I have no idea what the story is going to be, but this is like magic, a little bit of like fantasy, and yeah, it's just amazing. And then favorite found family is going to go with Six of Crows. I think the Raven Cycle and that like Heartstopper are also good contendant for this category, but Six of Crows, like oh my god. So three of the main characters are queer. We have Nina, who's bisexual, and Jesper is also bisexual, and Wylan is gay. I don't know about, I think Inish, Kaz, and Matthias are straight potentially, but yeah, I really love those characters. I really love the found family. For me, it's really like actual found family, because they don't have kind of anyone else other than that. I just wanted to talk about three books, but I couldn't fit them in a category. So first of all, we have The Prince and the Dressmaker. It's a comic book, and I think it was so cute. This is again very good for like queer hope and like discovery and like embracing yourself and your family embracing you as well. So yeah, this was really cute. I read this I don't know, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, and I think it's such like a good book. There are a lot of comic book that I have read, but I don't own a physical copy either through webtoon and things like that. So I'll try to put things that I like. Then we have Not My Problem by Kiara Smith. I read this book because the author was at Yalc. So whoop, it is signed to me. And I laughed a lot. I thought it was such a cute story and I really enjoyed it. I wish I'm gonna buy more books by this author because I think the stories are amazing. And on the same year, I also read Ace of Spades. I have an ARC version that I got inside a book box, and I read it because, again, the author was at Yalc, so it is once again um, signed. Woohoo! And I also have like a little card that of like the characters, and it hurts to dream, but I dream regardless. And honestly, this was such a great book. I got anxiety reading this book. The main girl is bisexual, and the main guy I think is gay. Again, I'm sorry if I get the sexuality of these characters wrong, but honestly, really loved it. This is not really about being queer, kind of, it is mixed through the story, but this is like dark academia and mystery, and like, oh my god, it was just amazing, but it really ruins me. So yes, I wanted to talk about those books. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry if I talk too much, but Pride Month is such an important month for me, and I really love talking about queer books. Making this video, I realized that I really read a lot of mainstream queer book, and I should really try to read more. I have a lot on my TBR that I have not read yet. So yeah, I hope you liked this video and see you another time. Bye!